Hey guys, this is Camfrey15. I am back at it with another video for you guys, and we are finally back. I don't know how long it's been, but we are finally back with The Flash. It's been so long since we Flash fans have seen this show, and it is great to see this show back again. Obviously, last season, season 6, had to end prematurely because of obviously the virus outbreak that happened at the time. And that was essentially the day the world ended for the United States. Well, the entire world. But regardless, we are back with more Flash season. We are back with Flash, and this is the first episode of season 7, which I thought was a pretty good premiere in terms of what they had to do and where this episode was originally supposed to be. Like from the other reviews I heard, this is supposed to be like the third to last episode before the season finale of last season. So definitely it's like, oh, okay. I guess you got to start off with what you need to start off with. And honestly, I would say it's a pretty good starting point for season 7 because, you have the whole Barry lost his speed and stuff like that. And you resolve that into, well, this one episode, which I thought they were going to, push out. So, like, I guess you can say it's quote unquote what was supposed to be the season 6 finale. But yeah, I thought The Flash season 7, episode 1 was a pretty good episode today. And I can remember most of the storylines, so I'm gonna get through some of the storylines, most of the main people's storylines. Now, there's like 4 different types of storylines. You have the Iris storyline, the Nash Wells storyline that interconnects with the Barry storyline, as well as everything else. You had the Cecile storyline, which kind of interconnects with everything else and stuff like that. I don't know much about the Cecilia route, so I'm just gonna kind of get into it now. The Cecile thing is just essentially, I guess you can say, interrogating the girlfriend, I forgot her name, of Mirror Master, which was the original Mirror Master. And we find out that Eva actually kills him. Heck, the first episode starts off with this pretty cool, flash scene where, he's been in cryo to keep his speed like at the 1% he needs to stay at. Then he comes out and he's chasing Eva. And you have, this really cool scene of Eva going through the mirrors, and you just have Flash chasing her, which was dope. And then too, because Eva is essentially, can go through mirrors, or fractals or whatever, she can essentially keep up with the Flash because like her fractal particles can move at the speed of light, which is like, gosh dang, because they do the slow motion thing where she easily dodges him and he's like, what the fudge? And stuff like that. But anyways, Eva managed to kill I think I forgot the dude's last name, but the first guy's name was Sam, but managed to kill that dude, which was that girlfriend. And essentially, what happens is Cecile's trying to find more information where the black hole technology could be located at, and eventually, she turns that girl's powers on her, which reveals that the black hole technology is on this plane, but the plane has bombs, and there's also people on these bombs too. So that kind of ties into the end of the episode and stuff like that, which we'll tie into later. The Iris stuff, you see her Iris still stuck in the mirror world and stuff like that after what we saw, at the end of last season where she is like completely somewhere else. Not only is she trying to try to get in contact with Camilla because she's also there too. Um, we see like these past alliterations of Iris throughout like the history of the Flash. Like, we see Iris from season 1, the Iris from season 3 when she got killed by Savitar. We see even the Iris from, I believe, season 5, the future version of Iris. And they're all trying to like, break her down and make her kind of go crazy, but it kind of doesn't work, and Iris overcomes that. She sends this message, which I kind of didn't fully understand what was going on here. She sends this message, I'm guessing, to Camilla, and it just like the mirror just like, and I'm like, what the hell? I don't know if that means it didn't send or something like that. It was weird. She also does talk to Eva because she's like, I'm gonna get out of here, and you can't. Your little hallucinations ain't gonna work on me. And she's like, well, I'd like to see you try, yada yada yada. And she's like, you'll never, see your husband again, and stuff like that. Anyways, the main storyline or the main part of this episode was regarding Nash Wells. And essentially, we know that Barry is trying to do whatever they can to try to get his speed force back. And after, they're trying to find a way, the Court of Wells essentially talks to Nash Wells, and they say, well, you have multiversal particles in us or in your body. So what you can do is transfer it to the device. I forgot what they call the device. This little, neuron type of atom looking thing. And essentially you do that, you can give Barry his speed back, but it's at one cost. It needs an organic, it needs an organic, like, I guess you can say, I forgot the word they used, but essentially a key to make it fully work. And essentially what happens is Nash Wells is going to have to sacrifice himself with the multiversal particles to be able to give Barry his speed back and everything. And we see in this episode, he doesn't want to go through with it because we later find out in his talk with Allegra, he was scared and he was afraid of essentially dying, which I wouldn't blame him and stuff like that. Now, Allegra comes in this episode when she finds out, like, all of that. And what they do first is this, to try to do it. And it's like, okay, they have Allegra try to take out the multiversal particles out of Nash Wells and put it into the conduit. And sadly, that plan doesn't work. Essentially, Barry ends up getting hit by the particles trying to save Allegra from getting hit by it. And essentially, we see that Barry has all the minds of the Court of Wells members, like all of them that were presented in this episode, and things like that. He later eventually passes out, which again, I liked Grant Gustin's acting on this when he was doing all the different interpretations of Wells, especially the way he was acting, like in his accents and everything. Like I was literally like, dude, this is too funny. But eventually he passes out, and we find out that because there's too many brain waves in his brain, if it wasn't for a speed healing, Barry would die. So essentially, if his speed healing is done when he loses all his speed, Barry's gonna die right there, as well as all the other quartz all the other wells in his brain and stuff like that. So essentially, they're on a race against time, and stuff like that. Again, like I said, Allegra kind of got a little bit upset, a little bit too upset, about the whole Nash Wells not telling anybody things. But hey, that's just been the mainstay. Anyways, yeah, eventually, he talks to Barry, who transforms. She's using the personality of Harry, the one that showed up with the one Harrison Wells from season 2. Essentially, he essentially kind of speaks to him like, yeah, I can understand why you're scared, but you got to look at it. If you sacrifice your thing, if you sacrifice your life, you're doing it for a good reason, to help save lives, and stuff like that. And Barry needs you more than anybody. So eventually, Nash Wells copes with it, and he's willing to go through with it. And what I thought was a pretty touching, emotional scene was the fact that, as Nash Wells is essentially giving up, sacrificing his life, you have all the other Wells personalities essentially singularly always talk to Barry, and tell him how important they were in his life, thanking him. Essentially, it is essentially confirmed that they're killing off like the Wells characters and stuff like that. Again, we don't know if we'll see another Wells. Usually it's always a trope where we see another Wells this season, but like for some of the most memorable Wells we've gotten, they're essentially all dead, and Nash is the last one, and he sacrifices his life, which, as Barry's running through the thing, it gives him his speed back thanks to the artificial speed force thing, and he manages to become the Flash yet again, save the day by, hold on, guys. Okay, back. Yeah, but what is it? He manages to stop, become the Flash again, and yeah, then you get this again another touching moment between Chester, Allegra, and Barry, where essentially, Barry, Chester and Barry essentially, I mean Chester and Allegra essentially tell Barry like, they're the wells that made you become the person you are today. So it's almost as if they're always going to be with you, running with you. So you know that is that was a pretty emotional, touching scene too. So yeah. Anyways, the end of the episode revolves around Eva. We see early in the episode, she's trying not to watch a video of like the past before the particle accelerator burned up because she was mad. But eventually, at the end of the episode, she hooks up to her computer. She manages to see it, and you know, it's later revealed that her real body, her real self, died. You know, after I guess being thrown out of the mirror, and it seems like what she is. Seems like what this Eva is like some sort of mirror duplicate version and stuff like that. Like that's not the real her. And that's kind of where the episode ends off. And yeah, so it's pretty interesting that the real Eva died and this is some mirror version. Again, we don't know what's gonna happen. We don't know if she has some sort of time limit of how long she can be on Earth or something like that. It's very strange, but very interesting to see where they're taking the story. And yeah, but I believe the next two episodes are going to revolve around the end of season 6. What was supposed to be season 6. Oh, we do get some clarification why Cisco and Caitlin were in there. They were like on some sort of vacation. Ralph and Sue Dearborn, they're essentially off the grid because people think that it was Sue that killed Carver and everything. So yeah. Again, like I said, I don't know. I don't remember if I talked about the Hartley Sawyer stuff, but again, like I said, it sucks that he did have to get fired. But at the time, listen, it's kind of the thing of watch what you say, on social media. I'm not an advocate of bringing your past history up because if you're definitely a changed person, in the current day as opposed to what past tweets say, yeah, but at the end of the day, it's like you did put those tweets out, so you probably should have deleted them and probably should have looked back at them. Again, that's gonna be the way to write off the Ralph character. Again, I just don't understand why they just don't recast Ralph, if we're being honest. Yeah, it's gonna be a little weird to have just a brand new Ralph Dibny, actor in for Hartley Sawyer. Yeah, but at the same time, it's like, how about this? Why don't you just recast the actor and make sure he's like it's not gone? But I can understand some fans will be like, well, I can't see this new person as as the elongated man. Again, it sucks because it definitely does kill that Ralph and Sue Dearborn storyline that they had going on, which definitely would have led to them definitely both being in Team Flash, which good God. We don't know if they would have just ended season 6 with them, walking away. I think they would have probably been together on Team Flash for like maybe a season, and then they would have went their separate ways to live together. But I that's in the coming weeks they'll probably write off his character along with Sue's character. It sucks for Sue Dearborn, the actor Sue Dearborn. It's like I guarantee you they had so many good plans for her, and then when the situation with Hartley came out, it's like it kind of just killed all that plans, and it's like, well, then, damn. Again, like I said, I don't understand why you just can't recast. It's the same thing, like I said. It's the same thing I always say with Black Panther too. I'm like, I know Chadwick Boseman was a great, phenomenal actor for the role, but just recast somebody else to take on the mantle of T'Challa. You know, I don't know why you don't do it. That's the same thing like I said in Batwoman too. Why don't they just recast Kate Kane instead of make a whole new character? Now I think Batwoman season 2 is still pretty good, but it's like, why do they show that to make things harder? Just recast these characters and it will solve your entire storyline issues where you don't have to end up writing characters off way earlier than expected. So that's just my thoughts. So yeah, but other than that, that's kind of it. But I enjoyed this Flash premiere for season 7. Yeah, so if you guys like the video, leave a like, put in the comment section your thoughts on this Flash premiere, as well as hit that subscribe button to get more Flash Season 7 content, as well as the other DC TV show contents. I review Batwoman and Superman and Lois. Whenever Stargirl I know it comes out in the summer, and Supergirl, I don't know when that's coming out, the final season of Supergirl. I'll also be doing reviews for that too. But other than that, guys, hopefully you guys have a great rest of your day. Until then, guys, I'll see you guys on the next video. Peace.